And I've done the two recent videos and talking about fish stocks, and then
Right.
this one on the
Yeah.
algal blooms and you know what it means to fisheries and so on. And it still just comes down to that we got more and more people that you're trying to provide food for, and it's just limited as to how much that can be created food. You just can't do that, and you know so you see the rise of aquaculture or fish farming or pens really, and so you have them in a pen to keep the fish because otherwise they'll just see a chuck swim away. you know
Yeah.
so
You gotta.
you keep them in this pen, which means you're crowding them, so you actually making it more susceptible to diseases, and the diseases can, if it gets introduced, it can just blow right through them because they're in close proximity. No social distancing among fish, but
Right.
but then you get the algal blooms, and the fish are trapped in the pen. If there's an algal bloom and they're out in the ocean, they say, okay, avoid that area, we'll go elsewhere. But they're trapped there. So then they're subjected to the toxins from the algal bloom, any disease organisms. And so fish farming is, you have to be really, really careful because you can easily have something happen, just wipe them all out.
Very interesting. I know I did watch those videos, and just the idea that, yeah, we're feeding more and more people, and it reminds me too of the industrial farming, but they're taking it to the ocean, and it's already depleted. I know, like, where the oceans are dying, and just what's been going on with the ocean. I mean, just we can't sustain this level, and we just the status quo issue. We're just on this trajectory, and we know the consequences, and even if you want to change this, they want to hold us everything in place. So, but yeah, just at the ground level, the fish, and we're overfishing, like you said in your videos, and trying to feed these people, you can't sustain it.
No, you can't. And when we look at the temperature increase, we're looking at how much methane now is just getting released, more and more of it. It's just like extremely concerning. And then there's just so many things that can happen, and it's just hard to see how this all will shake out. I mean, yeah, up here where I'm at, yeah, it's a little cooler condition, but then you go on the Eurasian side of the Arctic Ocean, it's a little cooler, but not as cool as us. They still have some warm spots, but the Arctic dipole is doing something really funky up there. And then you go over to like Sweden, Scandinavia, and they're getting the snarkers bit out of them. I mean, they're getting slammed, but that's probably because the AMOC is slowing down, so they're not getting that heat from the Gulf Stream to moderate their climate. So it's very, as I said before, I see more regional cooling versus, say, hemispheric cooling with a slowdown or shutdown of the conveyor belt. You still have all that heat energy that's there, and it's going to be emitted in the form of latent heat energy into the atmosphere, modifying temperatures and conditions, etc. So it's like anything else. We have to keep collecting the data, keep fine tuning the models, and see what the projections indicate. But even if just putting aside climate change, which is enough to do us in as a species, along with many, many, many other species, just too many people. If I'm going to feed them, we're losing the resources from the ocean. Um, we're we're seeing the crop yields, the land crop yields declining, the nutritional value declining. It's like people just can't live on Dorito chips. Sorry. You just can't.
No, no, you can't.
As Richard Wolff says, stated, he said, there is no supply chain problem. He said, the reason why we have the so-called inflation is because of corporate greed. He's basically saying that they're just trying to recoup what they lost during the lockdown. That's why the prices have gotten jacked up. They're just trying to recoup it all at our expense. These chain link stores, whatever, like a Freddy or a Safeway, whatever. and they just buy all this stuff from one distributor, because the more you buy from a distributor, the better the price they charge you. You know, they charge you less and less and less. So instead of like saying, well, okay, we'll get these items from here, these items from this distributor, instead of like spreading it out so that you are guaranteed to not run out of stuff on the shelf. No, they just all go with one supplier, one distributor, and then when they're short on, it's like, oh well, sorry. Then you get a little sticker on it on a shelf. This item is temporarily unavailable. Sorry for the inconvenience. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're too worried about their bottom line. They don't care about the average Joe.
And that's exactly right. It's always about the bottom line. So so oftentimes I'll go to the store and it's like, well, I really don't need this, but it's on the shelf now. Grab a bunch.
Right? There seems to be, yeah, like less and less supplies.
There was a while there where you couldn't get canned goods up here.
I know, Jim. We lived through, interesting times. We lived through something that will definitely, if we live long enough, will be reflected on as not a good time period. You know, we forget that we were like waiting in the grocery store lines, and like people were panic buying. I remember we went to the Ralphs, and like literally everything was. This was before they had control of the situation, but everything was stripped bare. The entire store. It was just like nitpicked. I'm just like, Jesus, this is the apocalypse. This is it. This
Yeah,
is it. This is a zombie apocalypse. That's coronavirus. But yeah, I mean, this is it. People will hoard. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting off. But yeah, but now, like Richard Wolf said, they're recouping what happened. So we're living with like the aftermath of that greed. They've been
yeah,
making the most money in this whole situation, these grocery stores, yet they'll rather shut down a store than increase the wages of these workers. And also, yeah, like you said, they're increasing the prices for their own
yeah.
benefit.
What was it? Yeah, Kellogg. The negotiating. The workers have gone on strike. They want demands and this and the other thing, and Kellogg basically said, "This is our last demand. Take it or leave it." So the workers basically gave them the honest digit, and so now Kellogg was posting online. We're taking applications. For work, basically replace all these workers.
Exactly.
Scabs, whatever. Well, so many people filed false resumes on their website, like they punked them, that their website crashed.
Oh wow, this is the workers striking back.
It's basically showing solidarity. It's like, no, we're not gonna. We need work, but we're not gonna. It's not gonna be a great job for us. We're not gonna intrude on these people here. So it's almost like a case of worker solidarity.